Good morning. It is about 6:15, and I've put in at Canoe Lake and out for 6 nights of camping. I'm really looking forward to it. I've got a big loop to do. Really foggy this morning, so I'm going to stick close to shore so I can see where I'm going. Only one other couple coming in behind me this early in the morning, but the parking lot was jammed full. But this is Saturday, so I'm sure everybody got here Thursday or at the very least Friday. Anyway, got to get going. I have a long day into Otterslide today from Canoe Lake. See you later. Okay, there's a loon playing dead on her nest here. And I'm going to try and paddle past her without disturbing her because she's trying to make like she's not there. And I don't want to bother her because I'll really upset her. Bye-bye, loon. Bye-bye. It's 4:30 and I am starving. I made some chickpea and potato and squash curry soup. And I've got some hummus that I dehydrated with some naan bread. I am utterly famished. It's been a long day. I'm really pleased though with how well it went, but I only had a few snack foods on the way in, like a handful of nuts, and I had half a Cliff Bar, and that was basically it for lunch and breakfast. Oh, and I had a few banana chips too, but that was it. Lunch, breakfast, snacks, that's all I had. So I really need to replenish. But I made sure to set up the camp first. I can't help myself. I always say I'm going to go to the campsite and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a swim, and I never do. I set up everything because I can't relax until I do. I still do have to hang the bear bag, but that's not so bad. And I don't know that I'm going to go and collect any wood tonight. Might save that for something to do tomorrow, because I think I'm probably going to go to bed really early and just read. But I'm really pleased with my dinner, and I might even have some dessert. I have some rice pudding that I might treat myself to. Why not? So how do you like my new gear? It's a power bank with a fan. Oh, it feels great. Nothing worse than getting into your hammock and you're all sticky and it's humid. This is great. Well, it's about noon and I've gotten in the canoe to take a paddle across the lake and collect some firewood. And I noticed this. Yeah, did it again. I don't know when, I don't know how, but this is the third time I've done this. So anyway, I'll phone Swift when I get home and see if there's something I can do to repair it myself, because I really don't want to have to send it in, because then I'm out my canoe for a while. And I'm sure they're very busy this year. So yeah, well, anyway, it's a gorgeous day. I don't care. I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going swimming after I collect wood. Hi, well, it's 6 o'clock and I finished my dinner. I made a fantastic shrimp lo mein for dinner tonight. I was so happy and I was so hungry too, so it really went down well. Had a spectacular day today. Got up about 7 o'clock this morning, muddled around. It was a little cool and very overcast and dreary and little windy. So had something to eat, and then I crawled back in my hammock and I read for a couple of hours before I got up for good at about 10:30. But by 11:30, the skies had cleared. It was spectacular, blue skies, nice and warm, no breeze or very little breeze throughout the day. Took a nice paddle around the lake, collected some campfire wood, and took a nice swim at a beach site that's on the east side of the lake that I can see from my campsite. So it was really, really nice swimming off there. So just a really nice, relaxing day. So that's where I am pitched, and lots and lots and lots of room, lots of flat space. So if you're tenting, you should have no problem putting a tent up here. This is a great site if there's a lot of people. Plenty of trees too if you like to hang, or if there are a few of you that like to hang. Fantastic sitting area. The fire pit is huge. One of the bigger ones I've seen. And I like that it's facing the right way. And lots of sitting area around it. And a nice little prep top there too. That big stone is fantastic. And way in the back is the Thunderbox. And there's actually a pathway to another side of the point that I'm on. It's actually kind of a square point with 3 campsites on it. But if you follow the path, there's another open area overlooking the water down there, and I've actually got my bag hanging up over there. But absolutely fantastic site. Lots and lots and lots of space. The only thing I will say, getting in and out with the canoe is okay. It's nothing horrible, but it's not the best takeout either. Would have been lovely to have had some sand, but I'll take it. It's fantastic, and I like the view. Well, good morning. It is 8:15. I put in on the water at 8 a.m. this morning, so I made pretty good time after I got up. But I'm bidding adieu to Otterslide Lake. Had a great day yesterday. I was the only person on the lake. Everybody left that morning, so kind of left me all yesterday and last night just by my lonesome on the lake. But now I'm heading into Big Trout Lake. I have quite a bit of portaging to do, all pretty small portages. The longest one's 730. I've got a 190, a 390, a 270, then the 730, and then 100. So lots of in and out of the canoe, which is really time consuming and a little bit irritating. So gotta go. See. Well, here's number 1. Well, that was short and sweet, and back into the canoe. Number 2 coming up. And here's number 2. Let's get at her. It is 9:30 and I'm just about to put in. I've completed the 390. had a great experience. So I was pulling out of the creek to do the 390 portage, just getting my gear out of the canoe. And in behind me come three young guys in a canoe. And we started chatting as they were pulling out. And I said, "Where are you guys coming from?" And they said, "Canoe Lake." And I said, "Canoe Lake?" It's like, what, 9:15 right now, or 8:45, sorry. And I said, "What time did you guys start?" And they said 4:30. I said, "Where are you going?" And they said, "Brent store." And I'm like, "You're doing the Brent run." So Josh, Kyle, and Matt are three brothers out to do the Brent run today. This is their second time doing it. They're trying to beat their record from last year. So I wish them the very best of luck. Really nice guys. Hopefully I get to come across them again sometime and we can share a cup of coffee. Well, not only do I have 5 portages, but I've got a beaver dam to get over now too. So it's not a big beaver dam, but yeah, I think I still have to get down that way. So let's do it. So there's the beaver dam that I just crossed. And there's the portage. Just to make you do one extra carryover. Nice. Well, it's about 24 degrees out right now, and I've gotten rid of the bug jacket, sorry, whoa, and just heading down the creek, which is really hard to do holding the camera with one hand, so I'll stop. But there's a nice breeze coming down the creek, which is fantastic. Lovely creek. I love creeks. Creeks make me happy. They really do. And I've got a fairly good paddle down this section. The rest of it has been really short. You're in the creek and you're out of the creek within a couple minutes. But this is going to be a little bit of a paddle. Mosquitoes aren't bad, honestly. So I really didn't need the bug jacket that much. It's really the deer flies. They're starting to bite, not too badly. So I find if I paddle, I can outrun them generally. So anyway, back at it. So that's a tricky section of the creek there. Just a lot of giant boulders. So you can paddle through it. Just take your time. And push comes to shove, you can get out and walk it, but it's not a flat bottomed bed, like lots of rocks, and to me I'd rather paddle through that than get out and risk slipping on those rocks underneath the water and twisting an ankle. So I stayed. Number 4, here we go. Well, it had to happen sometime. Better get my salt packets from my first aid kit and get rid of this guy. So this is actually the first time I've ever noticed a leech on me. So let's see. You don't like it. Look at him. Look at him. He's not liking that. Yeah, there he goes. He's on the ground. Where is he? There he is. Yeah. He's writhing around. He doesn't like that at all. So I'm just going to clean this with some antiseptic wipes. So I had a grouse accost me on the portage. Came out from the bushes about 3-4 feet away from me, right in front of me. Hissing and squawking, tail ruffled. He was mad. I guess he must have had a nice sunny spot on a log there and felt I was interrupting him. So yeah, he followed me about probably 20, 30 feet along the portage in the bush along the side, squawking the whole time. Never had that happen. Nature. There she is, number 5, last one for the day. Let's finish it up. Well, it's 1:30 and I am here. I have completed all the portages for the day. I've got a small bit of creek to paddle through as I head out onto the lake and find a site for 2 fabulous nights. Wow, I am so grateful. It is actually really, really calm out here. Little bit of movement on the lake, but very, very little. That should make paddling this lake pretty simple. Well, lots of excitement since I got to camp. Okay, so I pull out on this point. I was thinking of going further, but I thought I'm tired. I just want to get out somewhere. I'm close to where I want to be when I exit in 2 days. And no sooner do I get up here with my stuff and I can see this massive storm moving in, absolutely massive. And so I quickly try and get my tarp up. And as I get my tarp up, it just starts hurricane force winds. It actually ripped a stainless steel D-ring wide open. Thank God my tarp's not damaged. But yeah, collapsed the tarp on me. I was underneath trying to get the hammock up, thinking, well, I guess I'll just get my hammock up and sit in my hammock and wait this out. But it collapsed on me. So I was pulling my gear in and trying to keep everything dry, and then finally managed to get it reset up while the rain kept coming. But at least the winds have stopped, but there's thunder, still a little bit of light rain coming down, but wow. You know, all afternoon, all I wanted was to take a dip. I just wanted to go swimming so bad. And all I could think of is, I can't wait to get to camp so I can take a swim. I'm wet. It's all good now. Well, that was an interesting early evening experience. I wonder how the guys going to Brent are doing. That would have been really rough. That'll slow them down, that's for sure. As you can hear, there's still thunder overhead. Rain isn't coming down as hard. Certainly the wind is gone, and that was the worst of it, was the wind. Oh my God. Really, hurricane force. It caught me quite by surprise. But I'm fine, all good. I don't think I'm going to need to move the camp. Quite frankly, I'm so tired I don't even want to. I'll go sleep in a rabbit hole tonight if I get rained out. I'm just under my tarp. I put dry clothes on. It feels so good. And I've made some dinner under my tarp. I will wait for pasta with red sauce tonight. Just wanted something quick, easy, and just would fill my belly and make me feel warm inside. And this is the ticket. And just like that, it's beautiful. 7 o'clock and it's absolutely still and quiet. I don't know if there's anybody else on the lake. I've not seen any other campsites with anybody on them, so I could be alone or very nearly alone here. It's a great campsite. Not great if there's a typhoon because it's pretty wide open all the way around it, straight through. Yeah, so right here on the point. Absolutely beautiful. Spectacular view. What a beautiful lake. I've always wanted to come up this way. Glad I have made it. I was going to head over to site over there on this island. But I stopped and just said, oh, I'm too tired. That's it. I'm stopping here. I don't know. I don't know if that one would have been better given the weather or not. But I think we're good now. Sun is coming out. Let's have a look at the site. So lots and lots of space. Tons and tons of space. But it is pretty rocky. So you're not going to put a tent up front. It's got a nice sitting area. Really nice fire pit, which is fantastic. You've got views all the way around from sitting in front of the fire, which is great. Absolutely spectacular. You've got a decent assortment of trees if you've got hammockers. And there is some space to put tents too. So all in all, pretty good site. Not huge. Hello, my friend. What you doing? Don't be shy. He knows I'm looking at him. I take some time to talk about what's in my PFD because I do like to gear up my vest with important items. So sometimes you hear people talk about ditch kits, those emergency items that you should have on them in case you happen to go into the water and the only thing you get out with is yourself and hopefully your PFD, which should be on you. You may not have time if you roll your canoe or your kayak to grab anything else. So I personally feel the best place to put your ditch kit, the best place to keep your emergency gear is in your vest. Now, a lot of people like to keep things like snacks and stuff in there, and that's fine, but you should always make sure you've got the essentials in case you end up spending the night or 2 nights somewhere and you have nothing to keep you safe or dry. And I'm going to show you what I have in mind. So one of the first things I want to talk about is I do have a Garmin InReach Explorer right there, and I now keep that on my vest when I'm out in the canoe. When I get to a campsite, I take it off and it goes into the tent or the hammock with me, but when I'm out in the canoe, this is on me. It's not waterproof, and what I'm considering doing, and I might try, is taping any housings on it that water might get in and seeing if that might help secure it, because I've never charged this out in the field ever. So I think it would actually be okay if I were to put some tape on those areas that if it fell in the water or if I did go in for a swim accidentally, that I could secure this and keep it from breaking, because it's unfortunate they're not waterproof. But it is imperative to have this on you. The other thing that I have is I keep an emergency flashlight, and this is secured to my vest also. This is a rechargeable flashlight, and it's great because it has a number of different strengths of flash, and I believe there's even a strobing light. Yeah, there we go. So it's a great emergency beacon, and I think that's really important. It also serves as a secondary light source if my headlamp fails while I'm out in the field, but this stays on my PFD also. Make sure those important gears are secure well to your vest. The other thing, of course, is my whistle, and make sure you get a really good whistle. No whistle will do other than one with a really high peel on it, okay? So do your research, get the real good stuff. They're not expensive. I think this one may have cost me under $10, but get a good whistle and make sure that's secure to the outside of your vest so that you can easily blow into it, okay? You should be able to put your vest on, grab your whistle, and easily blow into it, because if you're stuck in the water and there are canoeists out there, you want to be able to grab your whistle while you're in the water and get their attention. The other thing I like to keep, I have a couple different fire sources, but I do keep a ferro rod and striker, and that's attached to my vest also. Pardon me, I'm going to bat around at the bugs while I do this video because the deer flies are horrendous today. The thing about having a ferro rod or any kind of striker like this, dear God, they love me today. You have to make sure you know how to use it. Don't just attach it to your equipment and think, well, that's my emergency fire starter. It's a great fire starter, but you have to know how to use it. So make sure you've practiced with it, that you're comfortable with it, and that if you need to use it, you can start a fire. So I have two pockets in my vest. One goes along here and one is here. And inside I stuff all kinds of important stuff in them. So one thing, and I have to replace my good ones, but I do have an extra pair of glasses in them. I actually lost the pair that I had in there. They're the really tiny ones that fold in half and they're in a case. But I lost them because I pulled them out at home when I couldn't find my reading glasses. And I did make sure that I had glasses in there before I came out on my trip, but yeah, I can't find them. So I'm gonna have to find them or go and buy a new pair. But always make sure you've got a pair of glasses. If you lose the glasses you brought with you, it's great to have a second backup set. But also if you do go in the drink and you're somewhere and you need to start a fire, you need to put any kind of shelter together, tie some knots, it's really important that you can see what you're doing. At least I think it is. It's important for me. I also keep a knife, and this knife is actually attached to the vest on the inside so that if I were to pull it out in the water because I had anything wrapped around me, it's not going to fall out of the vest easily and end up disappearing, but it can be detached easily. Okay, so I've got an elastic lanyard in there. This just clips on in, whoops, if I can get it, clips on. I can just snap it off, but at least if I open the vest up while I'm in the water, it's not going to just fall out and disappear. Okay, so this knife actually has a whistle, but it's of no great value, and it does have a small flashlight. Again, no great value. Great as a backup though, but it does have a good decent blade on it, so if you need to do any minor cutting of cord, maybe some sticks, you can do that. And certainly if you get caught up in anything, if you tip your canoe and you've got any kind of gear wrapped around you, it's good to have something you can cut that away. Now the other thing that I have, I'll put that aside, I do also carry a multi-gadget tool. It's got a number of different little pliers and pin snips, that sort of thing on it. Really good, I think, if you've got something that can do the work for you if your fingers are really cold. A plier might come in handy, so that's why I keep it. What else do I have? I have a water bottle. Yes, I keep a water bottle. Sorry. And I also keep tablets for purifying water. So if I'm out there for a day or two, obviously you can drink the lake water if you have to, but if you can put it in a bottle, clean it, and keep yourself as healthy as possible while you're out there, then do it. I keep tape. Oh, here comes a monarch. Oh, so beautiful. I haven't seen one. Some tape for marking. So if you're out in the field and you feel like you might be getting turned around somewhere in some marshy swamp, I have used this to mark my way and then be able to go back and find my way if I think I'm going the wrong way. I'm not suggesting that if you're lost, you should try to find your way out, but there's a point in which you think you might be getting lost, but you're not sure if you are yet, and that's why I keep this, okay? It's also a little bit of a beacon that can be used if you are holed up on land, you've pulled up out of the water after tipping your canoe, and you want to set up some red flags in the area where you are so that search and rescue can find you. What else? I have more stuff to start fires. So I do have a Bic lighter. I do have, that's actually a tube with chapstick, basically, which you can use, but also makes a really good fire starter, and a little bit of tinder too. There's char cloth, tinder, all kinds of stuff, so you're good to start a fire even if it's raining. Tape. I cannot say enough about duct tape or Gorilla Tape or whatever kind of tape you want to use. Best if it is waterproof though. I have tape in a couple areas of my pack, but I do keep it in my vest. It serves well for emergency medical purposes if you've got to immobilize an injury. It can piece your canoe together, as I have had to do on this trip. It can also, repair gear. Okay, so make sure you've got some of that in your vest too. And that's in that side pocket. And in the other pocket, I keep an emergency bivvy. And this is designed to keep you warm, maintains about 90% of your body heat. So I'm not going to unfold that because I'll never get it back in the package, but that is basically a poncho that will cover you to your knees and retain your body heat. I also, however, carry, it's kind of like a giant garbage bag, but I have that too, which can be used as a shelter or cover, a tarp cover. It's not great, it's plastic, so you got to be careful how you handle it or it'll just rip and fall apart. But if you can get into your poncho and under this, you're going to stay dry and reasonably warm. You could also use this as a backup to help signal for help because it is bright orange. And remember the rule of 3, anything in threes is an emergency signal. So if you rip this up into 3 pieces and set 3 of them out on the point where you are, that is an indicator to search and rescue that you need help. I also keep a mirror, and this is a pretty large one, and it's never cracked in there, remarkably, so it's quite safe. So I also keep some of these Ben's bug wipes, and that's really so that if you are out during bug season, particularly for me black flies, it won't kill you, but it'll certainly ease your suffering if you have some way to protect yourself from being eaten alive while you're stuck out there. And I also have some cordage, and this is really tough stuff. This is some Zing-It, and I've got about 15 feet of it. So if I have to tie up that tarp, or if I want to use resources within the bush to tie something together to create a shelter, I've got something that I can do that with that is super, super strong, packs down light and very small. Now the one thing that I don't put in my vest is food. I have, when I'm out for a day paddle or something, put food in it, but I don't keep food as an emergency item in my kit. Quite frankly, you can survive without it. If you end up stuck somewhere for a day or two, you're going to survive without it. And because my PFD is out here while I'm camping, it's sitting by my canoe overnight, I don't want food in it that acts as an attractant. So unless you want to take it in and out constantly, that's your call, but I personally don't want to be leaving food in my vest. I don't want to get up in the morning and find my vest has been ransacked or dragged off into the woods, never to be seen again. The other thing I would consider packing is if you take medication that's very important to your health and well-being, i.e. you take heart medication or you take something for diabetes, or even if you are allergic to maybe bee sting, you should be packing that in your ditch kit also. You don't want to be without it if you're left out there for a day or two. You might be able to grab your first aid kit, and I'm going to talk about that in another video. And I would hope that you keep that stuff in your first aid kit, but if you don't happen to get it, what you put in your vest may be the only thing you have. So do consider those important medications. You can do without having Tylenol or anything for pain that you might experience, but you definitely need to have something that is important for your general daily well-being and health. I'm not sure if anybody else has anything else that they add to their kits, their emergency kits. Please consider sharing that with me. I'm always interested in enhancing my kit, but I do like to keep it as light as possible and as essential as possible. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that maybe made you think about your kit and what you're doing when you're out there. Do remember, however, that you are checking your kit at the beginning of every season, that you update it, that you make sure that you haven't removed something and forgotten to replace it. And stay safe out there. Well, it's almost 9, I think, right now, and well, I took my hammock down. I just was not feeling good about the wind right now, so I have moved way in the back of the woods. It's still actually windy there, but I just was not feeling good. My hammock was rocking back and forth. The tarp was pressed up tight against me, and I thought, I can't have a problem in the middle of the night, so better I do it now and play it safe. And I believe I might be getting heavy rain again tomorrow, so pray to the weather gods.